Following a Spiritual Path, Recovering from Religion, Volume 1, written by Elsie Smith, narrated by Elsie Smith. This is the introduction for the course Following a Spiritual Path, Recovering from Religion. I'm Elsie Smith from elsiesmith.com. We live in a world where people are either disillusioned with religion or they become fanatics who insist on getting the world to follow their one and only religion. The middle path of accepting religion and living according to their religious beliefs seems to be the domain of an older generation. The younger generation seems to want excitement and entertainment rather than a moral compass. This lack of focus and balance has left much of the world in a space where they can't see their way back to the constraints of religion, and they find themselves in a moral void from which they don't see their way forward. But is there an alternative to either a restrictive dictatorial religion, whichever one you are disillusioned with, or a moral void of fear, guilt, disappointment, and cynicism? Yes, there is. I call it following a spiritual path. But what is a spiritual path? Does it mean you have to play with crystals and have your fortune told? Does it mean becoming a vegan while your body screams for the taste of bacon? Or rejecting all Western medicine when you need to have a broken bone set? Does it mean proving your moral superiority in some way by telling the world that you are now spiritual and no longer religious? Here's a question for you. How would you define following a spiritual path? What has brought you here? No, you don't need to go to any extreme. You need to find your own path. And that sounds like a very daunting task. If you've already turned your back on the scriptures of whatever religion you've been exposed to, then where do you find your compass? What do you need to look out for? What do you need to associate with? And what do you need to stay away from? I found myself in this dilemma at the beginning of my personal journey. When I was a young adult, I associated with the version of the Christian church that I grew up in. I could recite parts of the Bible from memory. Because I have a particularly good memory for facts, I regularly won Bible quizzes. I prayed daily and I had a role in the church, first as a Sunday school teacher and then as a deacon. I was a good Christian in a desperately unhappy marriage. I approached the church minister for help and guidance when I was in a situation that was a daily risk spiritually, emotionally, mentally, financially, and physically. The response of the minister on several occasions was that he was terribly busy and he would get back to me. Can you imagine the vast loneliness of being in such a marriage, in a culture where divorce was a greater sin than blasphemy? The situation escalated to an evening where I faced the wrong end of a firearm. Only a divine intervention could save me. At that moment, my father walked into my house, realized what was happening, and disarmed the drunken person who claimed to be the man in the house. A few incidents happened before and after that night, and these incidents shaped my life. A week before the incident, I had a very vivid dream of standing in the kitchen with beautiful orange and white flowery curtains behind me, and I recognized the curtains as the real ones that were in my kitchen at the time. Suddenly, the curtains caught fire, and I couldn't do anything to quench the flames. I felt powerless, but at the same time I had this strong and deep sense of knowing that I would survive. 2 nights later, I had the same vivid dream. I didn't understand. Then the incident happened in the kitchen, while I had my back to the orange and white flowery curtains. This wasn't the first time that I had such vivid dreams that then related to incidents in waking time. Many years before that, when I was at university, I dreamed that I walked into a bedroom where a noose was hanging from the ceiling. It scared the living hell out of me, and I had no idea what it meant. A few weeks later, I met a senior student, and he invited me to the house which he was sharing with a few other students. He was an art student, and at the time I was curious to meet people that were out of my usual range of
Sample complete. Ready to continue?